Hello. Welcome to another episode of Unsealed and Revealed. Yeah. See, I started low and I lifted it up. I am Jeff May. As always, I am joined by Autumn. She will be in the chat and on the comments dealing with your questions, comments, and concerns that you have in there. So don't be afraid to let your voice heard and let your voice heard. That was almost a sentence. I almost got there. As always, making this show so much better, I am joined by our 6-scale expert, my man, Guy Klender. Guy, how you doing?
Doing great. It's time to play with Yoda.
I see that. We do. We have the 6-scale Hot Toys Yoda. Is that correct?
This is the 6-scale Hot Toys Yoda from Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
We've had a number of different Yodas throughout between both Sideshow and Hot Toys. And this one is pretty different. Let's first talk about the box. Like we saw with our Dooku last time, it does have what looks to be like the little slip on the outside with additional photos of the figure. Lift straight up and reveal, hence the name of the show.
Oh my God, what a reveal.
Look at that. Look at that.
It's Yoda.
Again, we get another photo of it, him wielding his force powers there. Slide up and out.
That's him absorbing.
And rebounding. Okay, and then there's our guy. So I'm going to lift him right up and out and jump right into it. I'm very excited to have yet another Yoda. I have all of them. But this one does have some new things that we've not seen before.
What?
Yeah. And we're gonna discuss.
As always, Guy Klender, huge fan
Yeah.
of rules and instructions.
Yes.
You were that kid when you get the new toy, you'd be like, hold on, everybody.
Yeah, hang on.
Hold on one second.
We got to put the stickers on correctly.
I've got to make sure to read how to do this properly. So I love that you do that because I was not that kid. I don't know if anybody else in studio or at home was, but I was just the tear it out and figure it out kind of guy. So I like to be sort of fake. Did you keep all your toys in there? Like, did you keep the boxes
keep the
and stuff?
instructions? Once I became an adult, I did probably in my teen years, but early on I didn't. I do still have my original AT-AT in his box with the instructions.
Wow, really?
And my G.I. Joe, the F-14.
You have the Tomcat.
I still have the Tomcat and my the hovercraft. That one I never opened.
So you never even opened them.
Never
See,
opened it.
I couldn't. Oh, that would have driven me crazy.
But we have opened this one, and that's what today is about. Up on top, here's what we're gonna see.
Can you pull it down a little bit just so we can
yes.
see the top of his head?
Sorry about that, because I was with the instructions. We've got our lightsaber motion effect, our lightsaber and hilt, both of our force hands, lightning, shall we call it, his cane, our additional feet for flight, 4 additional hands, the pegs, and underneath is going to be our dynamic stand. So I want to lift him right out and start right up on it. You may have...
Look at him.
Yep.
Look at that little guy.
He is great, isn't he? You may have a Yoda in your arsenal of figures, but you don't have one with actual hair. Up until now, it's been sculpted on there. People have done customs with it, but this one here is the first right out of the box, like that.
Oh, he's so cute with his little hair.
And that leads me to my favorite part of the instructions. Don't comb the hair. I don't comb in my home, so
why not, guys?
which is great. So I didn't have to worry about this. But according to this, it's telling you, do not try to pull it, rub it, or comb it. Otherwise, it may get damaged.
I just picture somebody wanting to make like prom Yoda.
Prom
like
Yoda.
Combing his hair, putting a little corsage in it.
if when you pull it out, it's a little muffed. Sure, gently do it.
With
your finger, but
a slight tussle should be fine.
a slight tussle will do it.
A good zhuzh.
A good zhuzhing.
You had a thing?
Yeah.
You were going to say a thing. And then...
There's many things being said.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Go
there's
ahead
some
and
things
ask.
being said like...
Look at that liveness.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
First of all, somebody has requested, can someone please talk in a Yoda voice to really bring me in the right mood?
Well, we've discussed that.
You can.
There are,
and we can.
As long as we don't make the figures.
Yeah, we can't make the figures talk, so he's going to turn his back to you, so you don't see his mouth move. which is great.
So should we all? I think all three of us should try Yoda.
Okay, let's all do one.
I'm definitely going to participate.
You know
in
what?
this.
You are
okay.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff, go.
We'll do the. Okay, well, do or do not. There is no try. How's that? Autumn, go.
I liked it.
Oh, mine is when he's thinking silently to himself.
Wow.
Oh, that pondering sound is incredible.
Let's play the too cool game. All right, cool.
Much to learn you have, Dooku. Which is fun because you can also have a Dooku figure now.
So that was just the beginning.
That's just the beginning. Okay, next question.
This is just the beginning.
Yes, we did. Actually, I rewatched the movie, typed out the lines, and Jeff and I
did.
were going to play with the toys.
Yes.
I'm
But we
that
can't
person.
do it.
Can't
But
do it.
apparently, George doesn't want us to do it. I'm afraid.
Nope.
Yeah. So.
Jamie says Yoda fighting in episode 2 was one of my favorite scenes. Rest of the movie is what it is, but that fight scene was so much fun. And then JJ says Yoda was a jumping flea in episode 2.
Yeah, I always.
Yeah.
I was interested in that because first off, this sculpt is fantastic. I want to mention that it actually looks, and we were mentioning that earlier. This looks kind of better than what he looked like in episode 2.
in the film.
They translated it really well,
Yeah.
which is I think a really good sort of statement towards Hot Toys, which is saying that they are maintaining sort of the integrity of the piece while still improving it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I never understood that because. But between episodes 2 and episode 5, you're looking at a space of maybe 20 years,
I think so.
25
Yeah.
years or something like that. If that Yoda went from like a parkour legend
Yeah, exactly.
to just like an old guy. Like, did he break his hip somewhere in the middle of that?
You know,
really-
there were very wet rocks on Dagobah. A lot of slips and falls.
There's
No
questions.
immediate, ER room to go to. Not sure.
Question is, do you guys remember how Yoda was in the original Lego Star Wars game? He was very.
Oh,
Yes.
was he jumping? Yeah.
I think so.
Those are the only ones I'm good at. I'm not a gamer, but I can play the Lego games.
Many comments about the hair.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
Comments or questions about it? Comments is.
One question
it looks
was,
amazing.
can you clean it? But
I mean,
like, maybe
Well,
think
look,
it's
he's lived in a
dusty.
swamp. Well, that actually is later on in the series, but
What
I don't.
he lives in New York.
I'm guessing the reason you're asking this is if you left it open air displayed
Or
and
if
it
it's
got
just got
dusty
dusty, yeah.
or something like that. I think you could be gentle with it, but I don't think it's going to be.
With the brush, not a hairbrush, but like the makeup brush. You know, you could maybe dust
Well,
it.
again, remember this has to be glued on in some way, and you're not seeing glue blobs or anything. My bet is that it was probably done with a spray adhesive and then quickly done. So if you're going to be pulling, the possibility is you're going to yank that off, and those mascara brushes are going to grab.
Yeah,
So
that's
Maybe a feather duster.
No, but I mean like the same brushes you use to dust your collection. Those
Like if
big,
you're-
fat, soft makeup
Oh
brushes.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking
a
little.
Jurassic Park brush.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
You
Jurassic
when
Park
you're
brush.
cleaning off
You
the-
would not necessarily think of them as makeup brushes
Correct.
because you use them to clean
Yes,
statues.
yes,
But yes,
yes.
they are makeup brushes.
You know what they're meant for, guys.
Yeah.
There's also comments like Alicia says, comb the hair, do not. And Trevor says, do or do not comb my hair. Yeah.
Articulated. The neck joint is down underneath the robe, so there's no cut up there. The neck is sculpted.
That gives him a good hunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That gives him the good sort of Yoda style hunch. I
Yoda
think.
style hunch. Spin around to the back so we can see the fabric in this is very nice. It's not where in Empire where it's kind of been frayed and a little beat up. This was when it was cleaner. Remember, he was still part of the council at this time, so you've got tight stitches.
Yeah, looking fresh.
You've got the drop in the back here. This does not go up and over the head.
They have a question. Do you know
Yep.
how the hair is attached? Like, how was that hair done? Like, it seems
I'm
very
only going to speculate.
You're probably right.
Is that it was some form of spray adhesive and quickly done by hand.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to press there, but it's hard to see exactly. It is not rooted. This has been glued on in some way. This is not a rooted
We have a
hair.
fan says, Tom Gerardin says, if you use an air duster, that could freeze
Yes.
it, so we don't want
Yep.
it. He's saying not to do that.
Not use an air duster?
Yeah, he's saying it'll freeze it because it's so.
Yeah, because it's further away. I don't think you're gonna. I don't think you're gonna need to worry about it.
What are y'all doing with this Yoda?
Yeah, what are you doing that you get it dusty? My goodness,
Are you
we talked
making
about
a
the
dig of
IKEA
a
display
play
cases.
set that you're gonna bring
Also,
them
I
onto?
have someone says my dad has the same haircut as Yoda. Should I tell him not to comb his hair either?
Yes,
Should I
your
tell Yoda?
father should cease immediately to comb the hair. More combing does exactly what you see here. Next up, what I want to talk about is the different hands. In the instructions, they've actually kind of labeled them, and they are pretty much what's inside the box the way they are. They're calling them A, B, D, and E, and then C and F. The hands that come on him are F and E. Let's pull up the instructions.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Nice.
And the reason that these, that I want you to know what they come with is that there's certain hands if you want him to hold the cane, and one's for the Force Lightning. The Force Lightning that we had with Dooku was one where we kind of had to slip it around the fingers. These are not that way. I'm going to take both out. This Dooku blasts Force Lightning toward Yoda, and Yoda actually kind of absorbs it and then launches it back. So this is in absorb mode, shall we say. So it's got that bulbous deal there, but on it are indentations. 3 of them that go with his hands.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
So,
that's cute.
That's super cool.
Bammo, you'll just set them in there. I'm going to...
Well, it's interesting too, as guys doing that, because Jedi do not force lightning.
No.
That is not a thing, and it's funny because I have a T-shirt someone got me with Yoda, and he's like kind of shooting a little lightning out of his finger, and I was like, that shirt's not canon.
Yeah,
That's not it. Actually, that's force lightning. That's not how that works. It's a dark side maneuver, but he can absorb that.
Can
and
absorb
sort of, throw it back.
Absorb it and throw it back, and there's that. Like the one with Dooku, it is not incredibly rigid, but let's spin it around to the fudge.
Yeah, I guess that sort of, you need to have an interesting fulcrum level at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Your center of gravity is interesting when he's not on the
But
stand.
okay, can you see how the little fingers go in there if he gets a?
That's cool.
That is
Okay.
really great.
And it does it on both.
I wonder if you were doing the Dooku and Yoda, if that you could do the Dooku lightning kind of coming out, and then you could almost, in a way, kind
You
of
could
intertwine
connect them
a little
together
bit.
probably and have a really neat
Not an official connect together.
Correct.
But certainly something where you could make it.
your display.
Kevin
Together.
says, since when is a power good or bad? Maybe he needs to charge a power converter.
Fair enough. But in Star Wars canon, there are certain force powers that are designated towards the dark side, such as the resurrection spell. Well, although that's interesting because Obi-Wan does sort of resurrect Luke in the beginning. After he gets murdered by Tusken Raiders. He's this little Jedi CPR.
little pals.
But then they sort of established that that's something that the Sith do, and that was, Obi-Wan, I think, says that to Anakin a lot. Like, that's not a thing we do.
So now we're on to the lightsaber. We get to the point where they do their force blasts, and this contest cannot be determined by the...
It is obvious that this contest
Yes, here we go.
cannot be decided by our knowledge of the Force, but by our skills with a lightsaber.
Okay. And we're all jittery now, right? Because that was kind of awesome.
Was it?
That actually led into what we all lost our minds for, and that was Yoda pulling back his robe to reveal gunslinger style his tiny lightsaber. Like our Dooku and our other sabers, the hilt, you can take the saber off, and he has a magnet right on the front, on the waistband.
Guy, we're gonna have you put that Yoda right on the center of that
Yep.
lazy Susan there.
We're being yelled
Of
at.
our,
Not in an angry way, just excited.
People seem
I
to be
would
pretty
like
excited
any
in
and
the
all
chat,
instructions to be done in Yoda voice. That would be kind of fun.
I don't have the energy for that.
Off-screen
We
voice.
have Chuck yelling at us that this Yoda reminds me of the Hero Smashers figure,
Well, I
but all
hope-
caps.
What's the
Oh.
Hero Smashers figure? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what that is, dude.
There we go. Like with any of the other Hot Toys that have magnets on them, you kind of
Tasha's
move it around until you'll feel the connection there. And so there it is, hilt on there. We are going to remove that, put our blade back on. We're going to use hand D.
That's handy.
Hand D.
That's pretty handy.
I didn't think about that until you just did it. But I like it. Same style peg hand that we've had before.
Getting yelled at.
Quickly. Are we being yelled at?
Yeah,
Is
just
it-
excited, but like excited.
Some
I
people
was
in the
gonna say, did
comments
that-
are going all caps.
I have a feeling that everybody wanted the entire show to be done in Yoda voice, and I kind of wanted
Guy,
to too.
you're really pushing Yoda voice.
also
You
that
know,
was
I've got a big
I
connection
can
with
do
Yoda.
it.
Yoda was huge for me.
Yeah.
I mean, when Yoda came out, I was 8 years old at the time, and that next year was pretty Yoda filled for me.
I'm pretty sure that we might have something to
Yep.
share with the
Okay.
class.
Sure. We're gonna show it. I don't know if we're gonna. So, 1980, we get to see Yoda. Halloween comes around. There are no Yoda costumes. So my mother, in her creative wisdom, works with me with a huge balloon and paper mache, and we made a Yoda head. And yep, that
There
is
it
me.
is.
That's it. That's at my grandparents' house. I believe those curtains are the same ones Julie Andrews made outfits
Does
out
look
for
like
Sound of
it.
Music.
Right there. That's
Yep.
That's
that is
boy Klender.
Yes, that's me at 9 years old.
That's not Guy. That's
Yeah,
little
that
Guy.
is 9 years old, with a very faded photograph. But that is what.
Look
That's
at
what.
that.
That was me then. Thank you, Mom. I love that outfit.
Wow. Look at your destiny
That's
right here.
amazing.
You're
there,
fulfilling
there you
your
go.
destiny
There
here.
you go. She knew that one day this is what I would be doing. So here we go. We've got him with his saber. We can switch it out to our motion. This is where I have to say the one thing that's probably going to bum people out is that this saber does not have a light effect. Our Dooku and the others have this one, and it could be based on size. Which, yes, size matters not. That was fun to do. However, I think that may have been an issue. But still do it the same way with the swap out. And there is the motion
Nice.
version.
There's a question.
of it.
Is there bend to the knees and elbows?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Let's show those off.
I was gonna say it's not a Kenner toy.
No.
You're gonna be able to-
Well, I should put the hand back on so you can see.
And JJ wants to know if he can kneel because didn't he land kneeling in episode 2? So
Wow.
Superhero Neil.
Okay, yeah, we want to
Superhero.
see superhero poses. Yep, I'm going to lift up the fabric if we can see there. We have the very dynamic.
That's how I want
Yeah.
my Yoda toy, flexing.
Yes.
When I get my Yoda, I'm gonna make him doing a strong flex.
he's
Perhaps
But
swole.
by our skills, an arm wrestling. And then Yoda shows up and over the tops Dooku. It's gonna be a good time.
So there you've got that one there. Yes, we do have the bend in the knees.
Uh-oh. Guess what you're getting dangerously close to right now?
I'm getting dangerously close, and this is a first. This is a first. Do we call it Soul Watch? I'm not sure because
There's
he
no,
don't have any
there's
shoes
no
on.
thread to check.
But we have a tread
But we have a
check.
tread watch.
Look at that.
Pa, 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 pa.
Look at those little feeties.
Yes.
Look at that. He got little tattoos on
I
his
was going to
feet.
say little tattoos. So let's
hardcore.
talk about those because that's kind of fun. This is a neat little addition because we saw how action oriented he was. He was leaping around a lot in episode 2. So we get action feet. Little action feet that attach.
Look at those little feeties.
Those are little action feet. So I'm going to pop off the standing feet, put the action feet on. According to this, what do they call them? Levitate feet. The levitate feet. But we'll pop those on. The character in the box here also comes with the dynamic action stand, which is nice because then we can have him in those leaping.
Are you gonna leap him or are you gonna cane him? How are you gonna?
When I do it,
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is probably with the cane. We'll talk about that because he does comes with special hands for the cane. Just standing Yoda contemplative, which you did an amazing impression of that.
Thank you.
the contemplating
Thank you.
version of him.
It's my best impression.
It was great. It was
that I
great.
can do.
Wait a second, that wasn't an impression at all.
So, dynamic stand that we've had before. I use the little screwdriver
Oh, we got his little
on the
tools.
side there to tighten that up so I don't get any more movement than I want to have. And we're just going to clip him up there just to show what we can
Guys.
do with dynamic stands. It kind of looks like you got wedgied by bullies, but this is just to give you an idea, folks, of what we want to do with him. We can have him full on.
So somebody asked, if Yoda had a lower back tattoo, what would it be? I think it would be do or do not. There is no try.
That's probably right.
And then, or he has anger, fear, aggression tattooed on his inside of his bicep, on barbed wire.
So there,
Or like maybe
there we go with a
maybe
little
something
action
faster.
dynamic
I love it.
Look at him.
poses
He's
we can
about
do.
to show off his skills with
With
a
a
lightsaber.
Robert said he looked like he was hanging from his underwear by a line.
That's what I said. He got bullied by, I think my paper mache Yoda head may have gotten me bullied too.
This is where size mattered not. Well, size
Yes.
mattered a little bit, Yoda, because you just got
Because
wedged.
you got wedgied. But since we've got him there and we've got that dynamic, I brought in my other toy from last week. If you want to bring in.
Yeah, last week's Unsealed and Revealed, Count Dooku.
So you could.
Test-
And I'm just
Look at
showing
them.
them what they look like together and why the dynamic stand is pretty neat to have with him to be able to, and I've got him actually a little lower, about an inch down onto that. If I wanted, I can hike it all the way up to the top.
I would, imagine like if you're, the idea of like Yoda coming at you is actually a terrifying concept to me. Like all things considered.
But there's our Yoda Dooku battle.
There is a
There we go.
question that was asked earlier.
It's kinda fun.
If the hood can actually be put on.
No,
Can't.
nope,
Okay.
it cannot be lifted up. And so we're gonna set Dooku off to the side. We'll talk a little bit about, again, safety features on here. The outfit is non-detachable. Do not try to take it off, otherwise it's damaged. Yes, you can take the head off. I don't know why you want to do it, and I'm not going to. The only time I ever removed a Yoda head was when it was paper mache, and it was my own. So I don't think we need to. Do we need to take this off? We don't need to take the head off, right?
I don't know, with the hair I'd be a little bit
I'd be
iffy on
worried
doing
about
it.
messing
You've
with it.
you've seen how great the sculpt is. Hopefully, me just showing it to you here.
Ooh,
you
now
can-
he's on his ballerina toes.
yes,
He did
yes.
those.
He did do point. you could put that on the dynamic stand if you wanted.
Kevin says, I guess you could force wedgie someone.
Yes.
That's the
could be
real
that.
Dooku Yoda battle, the going back and forth is them just trying to wedgie each other.
So no, you cannot lift that hood up. However, in the back here, we do have a wire.
Oh, that's
Dooku
nice.
didn't have one. This one does, so we can.
That way, if you want to do like a mob scene with Yoda, you can do the "Are you wearing a wire?" line. It could be
Yeah.
really
Yeah, there,
great.
there we go. So we can get a little more action out of him, like so. And then the last little bit we'll talk about is the hands with the cane. Let's.
I believe it's a Geimer stick.
Very
Technically.
good. Very good. I
I
like
don't
it.
know. I just know that it's called a Geimer stick. I don't know why I know that. I just do.
That's impressive.
Again, I don't know how to pay my bills on time, but I know that's a Geimer stick.
Well, I mean, there are things that are important and there's things that aren't.
Yeah, that's a fair
You-
point.
You know. I'll put the standing feet back on. So in your instructions, again, it tells you. I mean, you could do the cane probably in more than one hand. They just have it as where you can do the resting. One hand over the other, and how it would look with that. So, quickly changing out our flight feet.
Looks like a dried and crispy jalapeno pepper. That's what Tanky says
Okay.
about the stick.
It's a little, it's a little shishito.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. I thought he was saying Yoda. I was like, wow, don't say that. Yes, if you lose that piece, you could, I guess, use a shishito
There you go.
if you wanted.
What
What
are you doing where you lose that piece, though?
I don't know.
What,
I'm
are you
not
taking
sure.
this out to the woods to play with? Come on, everybody.
So I'm not sure, but we're gonna pull out both of the hands that we are going to use for that. Swap those out. There we go.
And this is how you're gonna settle your Yoda.
I think so, but I will probably have the robe back a little bit so you can see that saber is on there. I did like the gunslinger idea that he did. You know, when you saw that, was actually a pretty cool one.
Yeah. There's something about whenever Guy is doing these where I get really excited because I know how much you're into the posing of them. And so like the idea that like it's going to take several hours for you to figure out how to get him standing with the cane properly.
Yeah, how I want him just the right way.
Like it's almost like you're stuck in a prison of your own making and how you're going to do that. And I just delight in that.
There are also wires in the cuffs, in the cuffs of the robe. So when you move those around, you can give that the dynamic as well. So, oops.
There was a question that came in that's
Yes.
really important. Does anyone here know Yankovic's Yoda song? I bet
Yeah.
Jeff does.
I met him in a swamp down in Dagobah
Dagobah,
where
where
it
bubbles all
the
day
time,
like a giant carbonated soda.
SODA
soda.
I saw the little runt
Sitting there on a log. He asked me.
We can't really. No, we can't.
can we
sing
do
it.
that?
We can't sing it.
You can only-
Okay.
You
can
have to
speak
say it.
Oh, yes.
We're
we can
not
speak it.
violating any international copyright laws. We're
Yes.
just saying the lyrics. We are not singing it. Weird Al
I asked him
is
his
a
name.
fan.
The fans are joining in.
Yeah, there they are.
Yes.
They can do it in the chat.
Yeah,
You guys can.
you guys can
You guys
type
can
the song.
textually sing all you want. We cannot do that, and we did not do that. Take that, standards and practices.
Didn't happen. There's a question. Are the joints really tight?
Not exceptionally tight, but not at all loose. I'm not having to overly crank it.
Pick a side, guy.
Anyway, I mean, not having to overly crank them to do it, but they're not loose. So when I've decided to, when I was doing kind of the hands up and the force saber and all of that, I wasn't having an issue with it. There was no.
Danky really, really wants to know if the head sculpt unlocks Yoda's space iPhone. I think
Yes, it
would.
does.
Yeah.
Yes, but he had an Android.
Yeah.
Ah!
Waka
So Waka Waka coming right at you. You know, I can play your games
With the light.
with a lightsaber. So he is incredible. He's a great addition. If you don't have one of the Yodas,
This is a good one to get.
this is a great. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the first time we've seen the hair, the actual hair used on a figure, which is pretty great. The outfit, nicely done and tailored. Could I kind of scrunch him up and act as though he was, Dagobah? Sure. He's just such a great looking.
Yeah, it really does. Like, it does it. Careful of that hair.
Yeah, exactly.
It does it really well. I actually, a lot of times you see stuff and you see how close they are to approximating from the film. But in this regard, I really do think that this one specific piece, and the Dooku last time as well, but that was just a dude, so whatever. But this captures Yoda, I think, a little bit better than the CGI did. I hate to say that out loud because, you don't want to be rude. Not to a movie that had NSYNC cameo in it. Did NSYNC do a cameo on that? Weren't they like Jedi or something? Was that a thing?
Yep.
Or was that like an old wives' tale or something?
No, that
This
was.
is news to me, but
Yeah.
I thought they were, but
guys saying yes.
I'm a
so-
dumb guy, so I never
Yeah.
know what's actually
That was on there.
happening.
So, incredibly cool figure. Incredibly cool figure. You can have him kind of. It's first time we got to see him fight, and the ability to have him in those dynamic poses. Even if you don't pick up the Dooku, to have him with the saber and all that, we all lost our minds for it. And so, I'm looking off screen at what you guys are seeing now, and just the warmth of the eyes, the paint detail on this. I think you're absolutely right. This looks more like that life puppet that we enjoy in Empire and Jedi.
And Rogue One.
And yes.
I mean, not Rogue One, excuse me, Last Jedi.
But to have him here.
He has no saber. He does have a saber. We're not seeing it at the moment.
Yeah,
correct.
We did the saber part.
Yeah, we did the saber part.
Yes.
He does have the saber.
Yep.
Okay, and it's the removable blade saber.
And
it does have the action motion as well available on it. Your dynamic stand, your flight feet, or levitating feet, I think they call them. Your hands to hold the Jeff, what's the name?
Geimer, or somebody said Gimmer stick in there. Which, whatever. Geimer stick is how I call it, and you're not going to change.
We'll stick with it.
The question Chuck has is, can he sit crisscross applesauce for meditation?
Well, time to find out.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Can he sit? What are the hip joints like? Huh?
Trying to make him
The
shorter.
ears are not articulated, correct?
No, they are not articulated.
And is there a magnet for the
Yes.
saber on the belt?
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
What you'll do is you'll just kind of hover the saber around and it'll clink in. If I was going to do the sitting down, I would probably do the levitating legs or the levitating feet on him instead. I think it would work a little better, but we're gonna.
His knees can't really do a.
They can do a bend, but they're
not
over one another. Okay. So, but
it's more like he's sitting at a con, really tired.
Yes. This is day 4. This is Sunday at San Diego.
He's at New York Comic Con.
Yeah, New York Comic Con coming up.
Just resting.
So, I would put on. We're gonna do that. Okay, you may have got me. This might be the pose I do. I kind of take this one.
What, just sitting down, resting?
Just sitting, chilling.
That would be great to just have all of your toys on display. Just chilling and resting.
This is my chill out, but I like that. Look, if I did that with the regular feet, they're nice, they're big and flat.
That makes him look like an angry baby.
Clenching your toes.
Well, we have a difference of opinion on that. I don't think it's angry baby. I think that's
No, I'm right.
Contemplative. Okay.
I'm right on this one.
Okay.
JJ says a sculpt with closed eyes would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. An interchangeable kind of meditative one.
Nano says, does the saber light up, or does he come with a green one?
Nope. He comes with the green one, but there is no light up function on the Yoda.
Okay.
On the Yoda saber, there's not a light up function on this one. Sorry.
Joe says, do the feet attach to his wrist pegs to pose him in a handstand?
I mean...
Although, could his arms even do a handstand because of his head? I don't even know if...
As we all know, that famous scene where Yoda and Count Dooku decide that it's not going to be their skills with the Force, but their powers of gymnastics.
Of gymkata.
Yeah.
They also do gymkata.
Skills on the gymnastics floor.
Well, here's the arm. I removed the arm for you.
JJ says you can sit him on the edge. So
no, it's a different peg size. It's a different peg size on the feet and the arm. My goodness.
Get a little 6-scale folding chair.
Yeah.
And get him to sit on it with a microphone asking questions. Yeah.
I like it.
About himself.
Uh-huh.
A handstand, I cannot.
So, well, that was the first one I figured. Can he do a handstand? Did he ever do a handstand? No. I mean, but if you want to do that,
Luke to do it.
Then attach him to a power drill and you spin him around to fight Dooku. If that's,
wow.
That's what I would do that.
Joe says thanks for trying.
You're welcome, sir.
JJ says it's not really about unboxing these things. It's about what we can get Guy to do.
Yeah. Is Guy willing to break his toys for you? And I guess we found the answer is yes, he is. No, it's not broken. Again, peg. If you did have it removed. Well, but this is an opportunity. Somebody asked earlier about the joints on the arm. So this is a good opportunity to see what you have on there. So we've got our wrist peg. We've got a lot of flexibility on it.
Oh, damn, look at that. That's for arm wrestling.
So, yes, this is that with your skills in an arm wrestling competition. So that's if you're doing the crossover with...
over the top.
Over the top.
Yeah.
As you do.
As you do. As one does.
Hot Toys made some Stallones, right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Well, then there you go.
There you go.
There
This
you
is probably
go.
a Rambo or a Rocky somewhere.
I was asked about
crossing.
crossing things like that, and so there you go. There's your over the top. But that does show you some of the articulation. That we do have the cut bicep.
Oh, okay.
We have the articulated elbow, and then the fully rotating.
I love those
wrist.
those kind of double joint elbows. That gives you like the 1 point and then the forearm point. It gives you that
Exactly.
kind of
It gives
more
you
realistic.
just a little more life and a little more posability. You know, this isn't the Yoda I had in 1977 in the little package.
That's because they didn't make a Yoda in 1977, Guy.
No.
Didn't get revealed until 1980.
Correct.
Wow, I'm the worst person on the planet.
We need to get you your
No, but
glasses.
you're trying.
No, I'm a real bad dude.
Dude.
I'm a super bad dude. But no, I mean, Yoda's such a great character, and the reveal of Yoda in Empire Strikes Back was so great that to have him now sort of, there's this canon of, it used to be just Yoda was just this kind of guy hanging out in a bed for the most part, and like being an old guy. Now
Being an
there's
old
so
guy.
much more to it with Clone Wars, with the prequels. So it's nice that we have, more to play with than just, here, he lives on a swamp, and then he dies.
Yep. I like that they chose to do the dynamic stand, so when we do choose to have him in flight, battling Dooku or others.
It looks like he's really excited to be going to bed. And he's jumping into bed and taking off his robe.
Flying into bed.
In my jammies, I am.
Yes. Yes.
Is a thing that I am saying out
So
loud.
definitely use the levitating feet for jammy Yoda. Wow.
You should, if we can get a 6-scale bed, just get a little 6-scale bed to have him, what a perfect. You couldn't think of a better pose for a Yoda toy.
Yo.
Everybody else is going to do dueling with Dooku,
Yeah.
using the Force. What about Nunite's time?
Yeah, I was about to say Nunite time
Yeah,
pose.
Nunite's Yoda.
We should just have a new standard pose. Like,
Yeah.
okay, what about Nunite time for this figure?
We got to commission Hot Toys.
I believe on an episode of How to Be a Poser, he's going to show you how to do figures in sleep mode.
Nunite's time.
No, next time.
Thank you, Terry. I appreciate
I'm
that.
looking forward to that one.
Let's get Hot Toys to make like an accessories kit
Yeah.
that you can buy,
Yeah.
and it's all just like old timey Ebenezer Scrooge
Yep,
stocking
yep,
cap and
yep.
like
A long
stripy old timey
sleep gown.
pajamas.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
yeah.
exactly right.
Slippers.
And then we could have a whole. You could do all little Nunite's time
It's
Iron
like the
Man.
Nunite time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Nunite feature.
Everybody has their wubby, and like, what's his wubby gonna be?
Yeah, I would say Yoda's wubby, tiny Yoda, which is
Yeah.
weird.
There you go.
A little yaddle.
He's got good feelings about
Actually,
That's not an announcement, by the way.
himself.
No,
Not an
I said
announcement.
should. I said should. I didn't
He,
say are going to.
Sam,
If
keeping
anybody-
us on the straight and narrow.
Super producer Sam taking this soup serious.
if anybody
bro.
did pick up when Sideshow did the Christmas version of Yoda, I don't know. I have that. It was one of my favorites. Ralph McQuarrie did Christmas cards for Lucasfilm for the first few years. And it was Yoda dressed as Santa Claus. And he had a little sack and a little teddy bear and a little round ball. And he'll go up on my display on the mantle day after Thanksgiving.
Is that right there?
Oh, yeah,
You
that-
wait until Thanksgiving?
Yep, and then he'll come down January 5.
Uh-huh.
That's
Wow,
that's the one holiday.
You honor the 12 days of Christmas.
I honor the
see.
12
Wow.
days. I honor the 12 days. But anyhow, he's great. I'm gonna kind of put him back seated so we can get more look on that face. The more I do move him around and play with him, I'm gonna say be very, very careful with that hair because it's lightly on there. But that's got some incredible lifelike quality. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. That's a good Yoda. I like the face sculpt. I like it a lot.
I think the
I love
sculpt
the
on him is
hair.
great.
The
Yeah.
hair, I think, is a really, really great feature that's added on there. As long
Yeah.
as you don't comb it,
Yep.
Guy.
I wouldn't comb it. I wouldn't. Somebody said, air dusters, and we talked about them being kind of cold and all, they sometimes have a bit of moisture. That would be a bit of an issue, so I wouldn't do it, but...
And don't cut the hair. Don't grow back.
No, it doesn't, sadly enough. Sometimes it just doesn't grow back.
Did you ever do that? Did you ever cut
my
toy's hair when you were young?
Oh, I thought you meant mine, and it didn't grow back.
Chuck wants to know, does he have a Force Ghost feature? Can you activate that? Ready? Go.
Here's what you need to do. Buy 2 of this figure, create a mold, then do it in light blue plastic, and you have created your own Force Ghost.
You can't do that, by the way.
Also, don't
Super
do
producer
that.
Sam
No,
needs to come in
don't
here
do
and
that.
scream
He
about
just
that.
lost his
He's
mind
like, did he
back
lose his
there.
mind?
You
No,
can't do
Just
that.
having a meltdown.
I don't know if they're going to do one. I mean, we've seen that in others, but
Yeah,
that would have been another one. That would have been I'd still get 2 though.
That seems like an interesting choice to make the Force Ghost ones. Because then I saw a great.
It might be a neat idea.
Yeah.
I remember I saw a tweet by Daniel Kibblesmith, who's a great writer, and it was just him seeing like Luke Skywalker being like, "Yeah, that ghost is probably what my dad looked like as a teenager." When he shows up on Return of the Jedi, I always thought that was.
Would
really
you want
funny.
a Sebastian Shaw ghost?
I mean,
if we're gonna do those ghosts.
if I was gonna pick a Vader ghost,
Yep.
I kind of want cybernetic Vader's ghost, just like a blue see-through actual Darth Vader.
Okay. So
I think that'd be fun.
We're going off canon with yours, but all right.
Yeah. I mean, you're asking for what we'd wish for.
Okay, that's true. We did talk
You know?
about the wish
Sure,
list.
I'll take
I like that people on this show talk about their wish lists.
I mean, that's what this is all about. No, actually, it's all about this specific
It's all about these toys.
Hot Toys 6 scale by Yoda. You can check out at side.show/Unseal Yoda, because that's what this is actually about.
Yep.
Charlie Brown.
And he's been fun. He's a great
He's a
figure.
good little guy.
It's a great figure. I highly recommend picking this one up, even if you have one of the other Yodas, because this is the first time we saw an action Yoda. All of us remember that first time we saw him pull that thing back, the lightsaber levitate into his hand, and him ignite it. We all went crazy.
We were all like, "Oh snap!"
Yes, that was a no snap moment.
Thank God they did that at the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. Imagine you had that at the beginning of the movie, and then you had C-3PO in the droid factory. You'd be like, this is worse. They really started out strong.
Oh, quick question. Does his head turn back and forth?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yes.
Yeah, full articulation as far as side to side. The sculpt is all the way down into the neck, so the joint is a little further down.
It's actually quite a bit.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
The head doesn't tilt backward up too much,
Yoda couldn't.
but
It's got that bad back.
well, we did have him look up when the X-wing flies off, and there's been some artwork of that, but that's not this scene. So we talk about scene specific. So this is film specific.
We got a thank you from the CNY Star Wars fan club. Said this looks like a great figure. Thank you for showcasing it.
Well, thanks for watching.
You're welcome.
Thanks for letting me come.
I
and
did
play.
this. Was my idea, so you're welcome. This is all me.
Kevin said grown-up Luke looks more like Obi-Wan than the original Force Ghost of Vader. Interesting.
Well,
Maybe
sure,
some of
but
that.
the original Force Ghost of Vader was like 60.
Shaw?
Sebastian Shaw.
Shaw?
He wasn't.
Yeah, I
There
don't.
was no spring chicken when he ghosted himself out there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we all took it.
Shout out to David Prowse. Never gets enough credit.
No, he definitely brought him to life to us.
Imagine if the Vader Force Ghost was David Prowse. You're like, wow, he was 7 feet tall, anyways.
You know, I know a lot of people would be really happy if that had happened. I know he was hoping he'd be the reveal.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. But there we go. That's our little guy, and we love him. This sculpt is better than the one I did when I was age 9. I'll say that.
I'd say that age
it's
9 one
pretty
was
close.
good.
But this
though.
is not paper
It was
mache.
solid. It was solid.
You know, if this was paper mache, we'd have a whole different conversation.
We've got Paul from over in our customer service saying he is arriving in batches right now and shipping out.
Yeah.
Yes. If you
Is
pre-order this, he
Dooku
is
arriving too?
shipping.
Could you get them both on the same day?
That's a good question. I don't know if Dooku
Is
is
Dooku yet
right
shipping?
now.
Because they are a neat pair
Let's see.
to have.
Yeah. And also an interesting thing about this is
He's shipping now.
not like I know I don't like to bring up price or anything because it seems tacky, but this is priced to scale as well.
It's a really good price for this.
Yeah.
Because like for your average Hot Toys tend to sort of levitate around $240 or something
Yeah.
like that, and this is a
$189.
lot cheaper. It's
Yeah.
about $50 cheaper.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. It's not they're not gonna gouge you for it, which I thought was very nice.
Yeah. You got to appreciate that. So yeah, definitely worth it. The additional features, your dynamic stand. Have a real hair Yoda for the first time. That's rare. This hasn't happened to us yet. Gotta like it.
And JJ says, imagine the battles inside the UPS trucks if Yoda and Dooku ship together. You know, like Toy Story. Yes.
Could be right.
I am imagining that, and it is a wonderful dream.
Toy Story really adds a certain layer once you have accurate levels of toys.
That's why you always
look at
lock
Hot Toys with like a real Christopher Lee sculpt.
That's why you
You're
always
like-
lock your display case.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want Christopher Lee walking around my place. when
You're
I'm
wandering around and
asleep.
towards your refrigerator or whatever.
Yeah. Like a Grand Moff Tarkin running around judging how clean your room is. I don't need that. I don't need that from my toys. You keep Toy Story out of my Hot Toys.
Great figure, folks. Pick him up. He's definitely worth it. As they said, the price point on that is worth it to get. Even if you did no accessories and just what we'll call a basic static pose. That has some serious life to it.
It's a great piece.
Great piece. Thanks for letting me play with it.
Guy, thanks for coming here and playing with it. And hey, everybody back home, here as well. Don't forget, there's people in here
Yeah.
too, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate everything that you do for us, watching your questions, your comments, and concerns. Thank you so much, Guy Klender, for knocking it out of the park with that thing. I love it. Thank you so much, Autumn, for being on the ones and twos, making sure everything works. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out all of our great videos. We've got a ton of them. So many great episodes of Unsealed and Revealed you can check out. Don't forget to enjoy all the stuff that Sideshow has to offer. Some of us here will see you at New York Comic Con. Stop by the Sideshow booth. Say hi. We got a lot of really cool stuff going on there.
Let people know too that we're gonna have a ton of giveaways.
Lots of
during
giveaways.
New York Comic Con, both for if you are there, there's giveaways. If you're at home, there's giveaways. We also have buddy giveaways that'll be going on where you
Yeah.
pair up a person there with a person at home. You can both win a prize.
Yeah, it's really cool. Watching
Yep.
at San Diego do that. We
Yep.
will have stuff on the floor. We will have stuff on the internet.
Yep.
We'll have stuff at my panel,
At your panel.
Thursday night, 7:45 to 8:45.
Yep.
So if you check that out, we have a live sideshow. It's exciting.
Make sure you got all of our stuff that you're subscribing to and you have all your notifications turned on.
Yeah, so get ready for that. Super excited for it. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, let your geek side show. See you later. Bye. Bye, everyone. Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.